News and World Report 2024 Best High Schools ranking, Michigan is ranked 31st of 50, and only 25 Michigan schools ranked in the top 5 nationally. Tens of millions of dollars spent, waste on public education. Seems to me you and the government and Lansing and Washington DC missing the COVID pandemic. You miss the pandemic COVID budget. All those billions of dollars were wasted every month and the past few years. In effect of this spending and so-called education, re-education, we saw in the past few weeks. Even in Michigan, high schoolers, college students protesting against Israel, Jews, some of the brainwashed kids who know nothing about politics, geography, Middle East, Gaza, Israel, and war. Friendly reminder, war, the war is about the killing and destroying things. If you start the war, you have to pay consequences. So stop complaining. The best example and display of this stupidity was when the LGBTQ XYZ activists support Hamas terrorists. Please go to Gaza or any Muslim country and you will see how your rights exist. You, board members, Mr. Roberts, every time talking about the holidays. Okay, so I want to remind you because you missed few. Month of May is mental awareness health, very important because you will see many sick people around. May 17th, International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. May 19th, Gender Pride Day. May 22nd, Harvey Milk Day. May 25th, Pansexual and Panromantic Awareness Day. Ronald Reagan once famously gripped, "The 9 most terrific words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Too many children, too many parents have trouble these days. And to turn things around, we must stop looking outside the family for solutions. Thank you.
Comments. Next speaker is Jerry Byrne.
The topic today is the pursuit of happiness for our students. We all pursue happiness. It's the American dream. The Declaration of Independence coined the phrase, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No one intentionally wants to be unhappy. However, major depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States. Suicide is currently a leading cause of death among the young. Why? As a good counselor usually does, I committed to reading studies as of late and discovered a most recent thread among all this research. Regarding groups of people, these studies indicate that people with traditional family values are happier than those that follow progressive ideologies. Let me repeat that. Regarding groups of people, these studies indicate that people with traditional family values are happier than those that follow progressive ideologies. CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, reports that teens following progressive lifestyles are at higher risk for depression, suicide, and substance abuse. A quote of CDC states, quote, LGBTQ plus teens are at greater risk for depression. If these studies are true, why are we introducing and propagating these progressive culture into our school system? Why do we propagate LGBTQ if it leads to more depression? Why do we inseminate our students with transgenderism if it leads to higher suicide rates? Why do we teach CRT concepts if it leads to more discouragement? The school culture is changing because of a few uninformed staff members who buy into this false narrative. The school culture is changing because of administrators who are afraid to stand up for traditional family values and who allow the progressive theory to enter our schools. Progressive ideology is an upside-down value system that harms our students, especially our marginalized students who see increased depression and suicide rates. Mr. President and the board, progressive culture does not provide lasting happiness. Studies prove that traditional family values are what's best for our students.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker is Jason.
Hello, my name is Jason. I am a resident of Clinton Township, and I am coming up here today to discuss bullying. The reason I'm reaching out to you today is one of my daughter's friends had mentioned to a group of girls that she did not believe in Christianity. 4 girls started bullying her on the bus, saying she was going to go to hell because she's not a Christian. Now, when she got to school, she reported to her teacher. Her teacher reported to the principal. The principal then talked to the girls about that. My question is, are we reporting incidents like this to the parents? Or is this a school-by-school basis? The reason I ask is I just want to know, in the future for my children, what they have to do to make sure if by some chance they're bullied, how they have to go about getting this to be stopped. So my question is this throughout the whole school system that we have? If there is bullying going on, if it's being reported, are the children who are bullying other children, are their parents being informed? If you could find that out for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, it's unfortunate that we're seeing instances like this. My wife recently went to Ottawa to watch, to help with teacher appreciation. When she was there, she was able to observe the lunch hours. And it was insane, as she put it, mildly. I really do think that when COVID hit us, it really hit us hard because a lot of children are not able to see, or how should I put this, how they're supposed to act properly. And again, I think letting the parents know, it's a tough thing. I know we don't want to sit there and call the parents, hey, little Joey, they didn't behave today, but if it's repetitive, I think the parents need to know about this. I would like to know if my child is being a nuisance at school. I would like to know if my child is being a bully at school. These are things, again, I'd like to know, is this across the board? Is this at every school? And if there is a way to find a solution to have this fixed. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a lovely night.
Thank you for your comments. The next speaker is Melody.
Good evening. My name is Melody Parent. We have lived in the Chippewa Valley School District for 46 years. I have 5 children and they have attended 5 of the schools in the Chippewa Valley School District. I am a public school teacher who taught for 42 years. Now look at the time it took to make my introduction of myself. That took 15 seconds of my 180 seconds that I'm allotted to speak. Today the average commercial is 15 to 30 seconds long. they are able to convey their message to sway you to purchase or utilize their service in that short amount of time because they have the ability to incorporate and utilize music, graphics, visuals, and their persuasive techniques along with their spoken words. You have taken those tools and those techniques away from us, telling us we can no longer have signs, printed messages on our clothing, posters with information on it to assist with our message. So it is very crucial that we are afforded all 180 seconds of our time clearly to convey the message we desire you to hear, especially since you reduced our time from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. As I stated in the beginning, after I identified myself, it took a little over 15 seconds to complete that task that you desire of us at these board meetings. And I kept track tonight, several people were in the same boat as me on the amount of seconds. So to respect your requests that you make each meeting for us to identify ourselves, I am asking you to begin our time by beginning that clock after the task of requested introduction of ourselves is completed and we begin our talk or presentation that we want to convey to you. Identifying ourselves does provide credibility to the watching public in the Chippewa Valley that no longer can see who is speaking, and removing us even from that visual from the community. Again, that visual information is also lacking there. So in conclusion, if you desire people to introduce themselves, then you need to start the timer when they begin their monologue. So I made this short today, but I really would encourage you to consider doing that if that's what you would like us to do. Thank you.
Next speaker is Amelia.
It's very apparent this board refuses to properly function within the boundaries of the Open Meetings Act or the Constitution. Based on your actions, you don't even know what your roles are. Superintendent Roberts is usurping the board president by running the meetings, colluding with your lawyer to create rules specifying those rules at these meetings, and preventing some board members from access to information. Mr. Roberts, you're only an advisor to this board. It's the board's job to run the meetings and create rules, not yours. This board is your boss. You need to stay in your own lane. The abysmal proficiency scores, skyrocketing rates of bullying, and discipline problems are all a reflection of your poor performance as superintendent. You're definitely not worth the almost $400,000 salary you're getting. Part of the problem might be how much time you spend posting on social media. I see you even made sure your posts were all on the front page of the school district's website. Speaking of social media, I told you at a previous meeting, Mr. Roberts, the Supreme Court ruled public officials can be sued for blocking users on social media if that official posts about state matters.
Blocked me.
You still have people blocked from your Twitter account. It's obvious you think rules and laws don't apply to you. Then there's Mr. Pearl, who is the board president, but has been replaced in every facet by the lawyer sitting next to him. Mr. Pearl, if you need a lawyer beside you, whispering your ear and holding your hand during these meetings, then it's time to resign. You've essentially delegated all your responsibilities regarding these meetings to two people who are not members of this board. It appears you're not only